Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, corn dog lovers of all ages, welcome to In the Box with your hosts, Matt and Adam.
Everybody get...
Hello.
Hi, everybody.
We're live from somewhere else.
Yeah.
Or, well, I'm here, but someone else is here.
I don't think anyone knows who you are, because we haven't done this in a while.
We haven't done this in a while.
Yeah.
It has been a while.
And it's the first stream that the two of us are here, and we're here.
I just said it's much easier to do it from here, so Matt's going to come here every time we want to do a show.
Yeah, it's only an 11.5-hour drive, so it's fine. No big deal.
IENE says, hey, for once Matt won't glitch.
That is true.
We could fake the glitch.
At least you're getting a picture.
Yeah, you guys are lucky you're getting a picture. Did you see the...
Hang on.
Oh, yes, we have to show off first. So there is cake. I have carrot and chocolate, and what do you have?
I had the other two flavors. See, it's a four quadrant cake, and I had the other two. It's German chocolate and red velvet. So we're fancy.
Yeah, this will be on a sugar high in a little bit. It seems our messenger's going off. What does our fan of the day have to say?
Oh God, both of you in the same room. I'm still buffering. All right.
Yeah, you're live, but you're buffering. That's impressive. But yeah, the under review today, MASL under review had some playoff plays, not from last night's game because it's too early. But Tara wants some cake. All right, and it's good to see you. We have to go.
Yeah, we gotta go.
We gotta go buy a cake. No.
Yeah. And sliced cheese.
Yes. Tara, why did we get 72 pieces of cheese for 5 hamburgers? Is my question. But that's...
There is plenty of cake left. So, you're good.
Yeah. Plenty of cake left. But anyway, on under review, they opened with a clip from the Florida broadcast, and I commented the only thing that needs to be reviewed or challenged is the Florida broadcast. Red cards for everybody.
Right.
And immediately got like a couple likes on it.
Well,
and
of course.
Leon wants to know if no leg race today.
No keg race.
I can't read.
Wow, yeah. Unfortunately, no keg race today.
He needs a 2-week recovery period from the last keg
No,
race.
actually, I needed a good 5 to 10 minutes to catch my breath. That's what I needed. I sat down in my seat and I was gassed. But on a positive, no quad injuries, no hamstring.
Yeah. Can you guys hear us okay, by the way? Last time we did this with the same mic and two of us, it didn't come out okay. I just want to make sure everyone can hear.
Yeah.
It looks like everyone can hear based on what I see, but I can't hear what you hear because I'm talking before you hear it. So it's almost like I'm in the future and you're in the past.
Right.
Hey, Eric. Matt could speak louder a bit. Matt's eating cake, so...
Yeah, I can't... if it came down to eating cake or speaking louder, I'm going to eat cake.
Right. Yeah, why am I not eating cake? Oh, because I'm speaking.
That's true.
All right.
What do you want to talk about?
What do we want to talk about?
I mean, last night's game.
Last night's game was awesome. Dave wants to know where your IB26 jacket is.
Home.
Home?
It was home. Yeah, it is home.
What's funny is it's 87 degrees outside right now, but my room down here is about 63. So usually in the winter time, or what time is this? The summertime. It's really spring though. But usually when it's in the summertime, we have the AC blasting, and I still have my space heater on. So there's that.
Blarsting.
It's blarsting.
Yeah, we don't blast things. We blast.
We blast things, yes. Yeah, I should have a... I don't have a sound effect for that. That's probably the closest one.
Yeah.
It's probably the closest one to it.
Yikes.
We also do have this, though. That's for our friend Dave. In the news of Blarsty Land, Longtime BLARST fan, and he was the director of like game day operations, which meant he did DJing and like telling everyone where to go and what to do and when's going on what and what videos to play and what sound effects to play and that stuff. Our good friend Gianni, he's been on the show before. He has resigned from the BLARST as GM. He's been GM since the year before COVID, 2019.
Yeah.
And he cited what everyone probably read through is Ed Hale issues, but he issues in the front office that he just doesn't want to deal with. He's getting older. Hey, I get it. I stepped away from the show because I had way too much going on in my life and just had to find something to drop, and I dropped a couple things, including you. I'm sorry about that, by the way.
It was Matt issues. So.
No, it was not you issues. It was Monday, Pool League. Tuesday, Tara had Pool League. Wednesday, Tara and I had Pool League. Thursday, I had band. And Friday was the only day for a show, but half the times there was a game. And then by Saturday, I wanted to die.
Well, there you go.
And then I had my YouTube channel, my music channel that I'm supposed to be doing. My plan was always to do weekly videos. I think this weekend is the 8th week since I've done a video on that channel. And I dropped a lot of stuff. So, but the good thing is Pool Leagues are over. I am joining another one for the summer that starts sometime probably after playoffs. And I don't know what's going to happen in the fall. But
I really don't think we're going to do a lot with off-season stuff. I might. I mean, if players want to come on and talk about what they're doing over the summer, I'm cool with that.
We do have a list of people we want to have on the show.
I have been, and if this does come to fruition, I may be playing golf with some of the players from Utica City over the spring and summer. So.
Oh, yeah, and Dave also reminded me, Sunday dinner with Lewis Melcher is always a hot item.
Yes.
The problem is that his bus doesn't go very fast, so he actually has to leave his house Monday in order to get here by Sunday, and sometimes he doesn't make it.
Yeah,
so,
and then by the time when he gets here, the pot roast is cold, and it just doesn't taste good. So.
Right. Scotty says monthly show could be a good idea. The problem is when the season really starts going, there's so much going on.
Yeah.
I didn't feel it was beneficial for anyone to hear what games I picked every week. And that was it, because that's what it kind of devolved into.
Yeah, I think more people were interested about Hannah's picks than us. So
probably.
I mean.
But I think back to going, I mean, when we started the show, it was COVID. We had nothing else to do. Your plan was to go through 1 week with every team. And we did the Wave second, and you were like, do you just want to do this every week? I was like, sure.
Yeah.
Why not? And here we are.
And
it was good when there was nothing to do. But then even like that summer after COVID, I remember we were going to do a show, and I was in a kayak in the river somewhere, like an hour before we were supposed to go, when I heard the call from, I think it was Gianni, saying he wasn't feeling all that well and wanted to cancel. I'm like, okay, we're just not going to do it then, because I'm not going to rush to get back to the car.
I'm in a boat.
Yeah. Scotty said for the off season you meant for one show a month. Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
I mean, if there are updates to the league, absolutely.
A new ticket sponsor for things like All-Star games and Legends games that haven't not been announced.
Yeah.
SI Tickets reducing their fees even more.
SI Tickets actually working now. Well, I mean, before the announcement, it actually was working.
Yeah.
But not according to they didn't update their commercial. We were watching the Chihuahua Monterey game from the other night, and they had a ticket for Utica City. It was like $86.
Yeah, just a little bit.
It's a little expensive.
Almost as much as my parking last night.
Almost, yes.
I got a number of people to tell me that, I parked here and paid $3. I parked here and the gate's broken, so it was free. I parked here. Meanwhile, $36.75. So.
Dorfine Golf. Yes. Dave, that is a great movie. If no one has ever seen Dorfine Golf.
No.
You haven't seen Dorfine Golf?
Mm-mm.
All right, we'll watch it. It's hilarious. And that's pretty much how I golf. Usually.
Is it like Adam Sandler style?
Yeah, it's Tim Conway.
Mm.
It's Tim Conway, and he's literally, you ever heard of the Dorf character?
No.
Dorf is like 3 feet tall. So it's Tim Conway and this Dorf costume, and he teaches you how to play golf.
Oh, we should do a watch party for that. Well,
We should, yes. Probably should.
bet the over Tuesday night.
Chihuahua, San Diego. Well, we got to get through. We got to get through Sunday,
Yeah, poor Sydney Newsonoff bet the under last night.
and it was done before halftime.
It was, 12 and a half was the under?
Yeah, I think so.
Or 12 and a half
11.
was the line?
I think 11. Yeah, it was either 11 and a half or 12 and a
Yeah.
half. But yeah,
We're sorry for your $5 you lost, Sydney.
Yeah, you probably could have gained some of that back if the keg race was bettable.
Well,
I did ask for a 10-second head start and was denied. So
I would ask for a half an hour head start. What?
no, I was. I would have won if it was a 10-second head start. I kicked it from the yellow line. He dribbled up. He had no faith in his foot. I had faith. I had flip-flops on.
Did he have no faith, or was he just waiting for you so it wasn't that embarrassing?
I don't know. We didn't really talk about it. As soon as I got on the turf and saw who my competition was, I'm like, oh, God, I'm screwed.
So speaking of that, apparently Eric, our friend Eric Christian, nominated Scotty Fellows to be your opponent. And Scotty's like, no, I'm okay. And we all thought about it, like formerly Jay Miller, who now has a new name. I don't know if he wants it out on the internet or not. He would have been the two of you out there would have been the most amazing thing ever. And I've always said that the Superstars halftime show is the best I've ever seen. You and Jay doing a keg race, I think would blow that away. We need to make that happen sometime.
Well, the thing, he has an advantage over me. He's already dizzy. He doesn't have to go around the bat 5 times.
You're right. I introduced Jay as our friend that at any given time has had about 15 beers in him.
Yeah. Yes, and we were in Uber. Please
We were in Uber?
Please, that is 15 minutes I just want to erase from my memory.
Funny
forever.
story, as we were getting on the freeway, I don't know if my phone felt Jay's voice was threatening or not, but all of a sudden I had a siren sound coming out of my phone, and it is a new phone, so I don't know if it was something I have set up wrong, but then I got the SOS 911 call with a countdown, and it was basically like those old TV shows where you're trying to clip the right wire to stop the bomb.
It was like a bomb going off.
I got 2 seconds left. I finally was able to turn it off so we didn't call 911.
That would have been a fun phone call.
Adam, the other Adam G has a good comment. That would be scary, him being dizzy and falling with the kilt. Maybe that's not such a family-friendly thing.
Luckily, it's not televised on Twitch. The race wasn't televised on Twitch, but there were about 7 or 8 people that recorded it and have sent me all of their angles, and I greatly appreciate it.
Speaking of which, go to In the Box for the premiere video.
I don't know if it's really... Yeah, it's from Adam's camera. I got a vantage point from Soccer Sam.
Yeah.
There's other vantage points out there to which I would love to watch. The kid cheated, by the way. We watched it.
Oh.
It is going to go to under review. I am going to... I'm going to send that to Phil and be like, listen, here's what was supposed to happen. Yeah. Well,
Official MASL.
in the box.
And what I also have, I'm going to try not to put my finger in your cake this time. I have the official Soccer's official red card signed by one other than Craig Childs.
Oh, my God. So, funny story about that. Matt Sterling, who does Keeper's Corner podcast, has a set of cards as well. And when Empire was in town, he was going to have Frank Tayu sign the red card since he got one. It's the second one he's gotten while he's been in.
So they're giving out posters of the team, and it was actually not after the Wave Soccer's game, it was after the Tacoma Soccer's game. We went through the line and got everyone to sign it and everything, and then the kid in front of us, it was a family of kids and families from some like church cult type group, beating each other to death with those thunder sticks. And at least one of the kids needed a diaper change, or one of the adults, depending on how bad of a cult it was.
I'm glad I'm eating this German chocolate cake and talking about crap. Yum.
At least it's not the red velvet.
No.
But the kid wanted Craig to sign his the blue card or whatever. He goes, oh, or the yellow card. He goes, yeah, I don't get too many of these. Oh, I got some of these. And then he came up, and Craig knows me, and I'm like, oh, in that case, I don't want you to sign the picture. You got to sign this, and I gave him the red card.
That's awesome.
So it was a good time.
Wait, who are we talking about?
4-3 Orioles, 3-run double, Adley, Matt Wu.
Oh, come on.
I don't even know what language that is.
It's baseball.
I have heard, and maybe we'll talk about this. There was a play last night where a Mr. Gerson came up and slid into a Mr. Willie B and nailed him right in the knee. And it was immediately called a blue card, but Coach Jules threw the flag and they upgraded it to a blue plus yellow. I have been told that they are going to appeal that to the DRC, which is the Disciplinary Review Committee, to try to get a red.
And you know, I have my side of the story as well. I have been told that is hilarious. It will never happen. So
so we're trying to get a little bit of traction on it, but from my vantage point, when I saw that happen, I was like, okay, that's a definite blue because his cleats were up right into the knee. Any angle, anything, you're going to see that's probably going to be a blue. When they challenged it, a lot of people behind me were like, oh, red card. I'm like, there are not a lot of red cards in indoor like that. Outdoor, I think especially with the studs up factor against the goalie, that would be an instant red for a lot of games.
Yeah, I think the key here is the ball was touch. I mean, Gordy did clip the ball. There was no malicious intent in the tackle. He was going for the ball. The ball was touched first. So, I mean, I think a blue card is warranted, especially over a blue plus yellow, especially over a red card. And, I mean, we can talk about the other call that was challenged. I think the two calls that were made were wrong, but that's just me. And I don't think it would have changed the game a little bit, but I think Milwaukee still would have won. I think the ball that Willie B handled was outside of the box.
But this is in the box.
We are in the box, correct.
In fact, it is.
In the box. Challenge everything.
Yes. Notice how Van said that like a ton?
Yeah.
It was great.
I think Van still has old cards for doing call-outs and readouts and stuff because he's talked about MSL Primetime and Chill.com, MSL sponsor that's no longer a sponsor and things like that. But that's okay. He only gives what he's given. He only reads what he's given.
And doesn't call the away goals. Well, he didn't last night. I'd yell out a few.
I thought he always at least called them what they were.
No, I didn't. Oh.
But they play the music or the crickets or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like you guys are paying for him, so.
No, we're not.
But, so that's that. Game last night ended in an 11-8 victory for the Wave. It was closer than that. It was not. It was closer than that early on. Actually, you guys had a lead for a while, didn't you?
We were up 2-1 at the end of the first quarter. That's when I moved, and then you guys just went nuts. So.
Yeah. Thanks for moving, by the way. If that did anything by it, but then it was 11-6, I think, at the high point, and then gave up 2 6-attacker goals.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought Utica looked flat in the third and then the beginning of the fourth quarter. And then 6-attacker usually is where we lack a lot. I mean, we scored a couple goals, brought us back to 11-8 with 2 minutes left. I mean...
To me, that felt more like a... So, okay, Dave says neutral party here, no red from our conversation 20 minutes ago or whatever it was. But, if it caused an injury, and I've heard Willie B is okay, but he's sore, but not, like if he had a game tonight, he would play, or would have already started playing, or whatever, however that works. But it wasn't anything that would keep him out of game. But I know they don't do intent because they don't try to read intent on the players, like what they're trying to do. I remember there was a call a while ago. Kojakov actually got a red on Ian Bennett, and he came like ninja kick flying into the wall. And on further review, he didn't actually contact Ian's knee really that hard, but you could tell his intent was exactly to injure, and I mean, there was no ball anywhere near there,
Yeah.
and they gave that a red, and so that makes sense. From a poker playing background, we always don't look at the results, look at the decisions, and that seems to be opposite of what the refs do. They want to look at the results. If a guy, clips you with the, elbow under the chin, and it's just a running thing, and whatever it happens, that's either a foul or a blue, depending on where it is in play. If he draws blood, it's probably going to be more, or if he, breaks your nose or lose a tooth or eyeball or something like that, it's probably going to be more.
Yeah, especially the eyeball.
Yeah, Adam G says, what is it for Utica? 3 games in 7 days. That is rough. It's not. I mean, it's playoffs.
Yeah, it's playoffs. I think. I don't know. They just felt like they felt flat, and Coughlin got his hand on quite a few balls that went off the wall, which led to goals. I think if Coughlin had maybe snagged a couple more, we would be talking about a different outcome. I don't know. But
was he in the box when the balls went off the wall?
Yes,
Okay.
he was in the box all of the times.
But the ball went off the wall when he was in the box.
Yes, it went off the wall.
But the two weren't related.
No.
Okay.
No, they're
just,
not related.
Just checking.
Okay.
Hey, Lucy, how's it going?
Lucy, we missed you. Wait. Where?
Milwaukee could have also played better from the looks of it. Yes, we have a defensive issue, and I've been talking about this a while. I think the team looks right now similar to the Wave team from 2017. Walla Scorapalooza. I like that term. We're going to use that
Yeah,
for now.
I mean, you're absolutely right.
But yeah, in 2017, we did very well during the regular season. Lost some games we shouldn't have, won some games we shouldn't have, maybe won a first-round playoff, and then got molested by Casey or the BLARST. But then we learned exactly what Lucy said, defense wins championships. We struggle getting the ball. In fact, we had just cleared a ball out of the zone. I'm like saying to Matt, hey, that's what we struggle with all season, getting the ball out of the zone, and then one missed pass and back into the zone and 2 passes and it's a goal.
Yep.
It's like, oh, well, okay. So we got to work on that as a team, but we have some really, really, really good young talent.
Oh, yeah. I was, and Adam and I talked about this before the game. I think Milwaukee and Utica are very similar in a lot of different ways, both good and bad. I think with the bad, he just mentioned it, clearing out of the defensive end. Utica definitely has an issue with that. We all saw it. But on the good, I think both teams have great talent. I mean, on Milwaukee's side, you got Caduce Lawal. I mean, that guy can handle a ball like no one's business.
He's going to be, I've heard, we compare to players, but I've heard already he could be the next Max Ferdinand.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, great passer, great ball handler. Mm-hmm. And on the flip side, we've got Nilton DeAndrade, who should be a candidate for Rookie of the Year. Same thing. I think both teams have that rookie presence, also with a lot of veteran presence, and I think the two combined.
I like Isaac Soma.
Yeah, he's very fast. The only issue I have with him is he holds the ball way too long. I think he wants a highlight goal every single time, and he just needs to realize there's 4 other people on the team. Pass the ball.
Well, I mean,
but yeah, fast player, great player, hustle player. I think Sunday you're not going to see that same score. I think both defenses are going to
maybe
tighten up a little bit. No,
we got there. So we've road games have been a problem in the East for every team, you guys included, all season long, and it's been. I watched the third. Yeah, Scotty says 12-9 Milwaukee.
I'll put $5 down on the under.
The under of the whatever it is.
Yeah.
So are all the lines 12.5 and 1.5 favorite?
It's so weird how they do. Yeah, all of the lines I've seen have either been 11.5 or 12.5.
And they hired a data company that knows a lot about the sport so that they could just give the same lines for every game. Although, I think Sydney also bet either the under or Baltimore winning when they lost 14-1 the other night. So there's that. But he's only betting $5, so we can.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I would not come out with a betting podcast if you have a horrible record. So.
Eric, Mandy, yeah, I saw Tara mentioned this, but Mandy loved the game. She was the reason we started going to Wave games again. So, I mentioned this on the show. I went a couple times as a kid. I went a couple times through like my teens and 20s when a group of us were just looking for something to do, and it was either Admirals or Wave, and more often it would end up being Wave just by pure luck, and we didn't plan on it. It was just like, hey, what's playing at the arena tonight? Oh, Wave. Oh, let's go see them. But when Mandy got into soccer, and this would have been our 10th year being season ticket holders, so it's like 11 and a half years or so that we've been going to almost all the games, and she's loved it through the whole thing. Now, the last few years, she's kind of had some issues personally, we'll call it professionally, and things like that she hasn't been able to go to games. She moved out of the house. She's living on her own now, so she hasn't. They were going to get season tickets this year, and that kind of fell through. And they're moving to Arizona by the end of the year. So
speaking of season ticket holders, I'd like to give a shout out to we've mentioned this before, MJSL. For actually going to every single home game.
Oh, yes.
This season. He made it widely known last night that...
well, and not last night. A couple weeks ago, he had the most epic speech I've ever heard to all the Wave players, multiple times, while fairly inebriated, that I wish someone would have recorded. And actually, if somebody has recorded that, please send it to me, because we can make
watch it.
We make a mashup video or something, mix video out of that.
I would love to watch that.
We could fill it. So the soundboard. The cool thing about this, I don't know how to get out of it from here, but there are infinite pages you can have on this thing. I don't know how to change it from here, but you can have I can have 40 pages full of stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh, some of the stuff he said last night would have been perfect for that.
I know.
So, for those of you that missed the after party at Goolsby's. First of all, Derek Huffman was there, and Jay was very happy about that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what else happened. Well, Jay was just Jay, I think.
Jay was just Jay. He actually, Lucy, he did not say that at all last night. I don't believe he said that.
What?
Brazilian balls of steel.
No, he did call me Eddie Murphy though.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, he called me Eddie Murphy.
Jay, we love you. We need to make sure we keep saying that. It would not be the same without Jay at games. It would be different, but it would not be the same.
Yeah, and you guys are used to him. I was.
Yeah.
I'm speechless when it comes to him, especially when he got out of the car and dropped. Good night, Adam. Good night, Adam.
F you, Matt.
several bombs.
Yeah, that's our Jay. We love Jay. He didn't have any Long Islands either, Scotty. It was all beer. I don't even know where he was half the game. He said he thought he was in his seat most of the game, but now I'm wondering if he's wandering around in the locker rooms or something after the game, or in the middle of the game.
I don't know. I'm just
he's met Lucy. Matt met Jay last year. Matt knows all about Jay.
Oh, believe me,
we've watched his videos. We've talked to him in the chat and stuff like that.
It's he's quite the.
It's Jay.
Yeah.
There's no other way to explain it than it's Jay.
I mean, this is pretty much what the car ride home with Jay was.
And then
an air horn, and then after the air horn, it was. That's pretty much it.
Oh boy, that's our Jay. We miss you, Jay.
Yeah. Yeah. What else? What else do we look? Do we look at the game on Sunday? Do we talk about? I mean, we didn't really mention a lot of the other goings on, or do we save that for?
What other goings on?
So what happens? What happens after this game?
So we have heard rumors from multiple people now that a certain team that is ready to play the winner of this series does not have any home. Well, also KC sucks. Yes, we need that. Actually, I need that on the soundboard.
Yes.
I need Huffman saying KC sucks right on. So either, Scotty, we won't get ahead of ourselves. Either Milwaukee or Utica playing Baltimore. We've heard a rumor that both teams will get 2 home games, and Baltimore does not have any arena availability, will not get any home games. Also, Jenna, this is specifically for you. Do you know who is not in the playoffs anymore this year? Can anyone guess? She's gonna kill me for that. So yeah, Kevin, speaking of I think Baltimore gave up after it was like 5 or 6 to 1, and they were like, let's just go to the mini game. We have 3 different players coming in.
We should just switch spots so I can just do the soundboard the whole freaking time.
Mini game.
I mean, that's what we should do.
I have a USB mouse somewhere.
Well, does that mouse move over?
No,
here?
because it's tied. It goes this far.
Oh,
It's underneath the desk.
Well, then we'll just
hang it. No. All right. Okay,
No.
yeah, you just go there.
No,
What about my cake though?
If you want a cake, we'll just. Oh my God, I'm gonna fall.
Don't bash into the wall behind you.
I'm
Either.
trying not to.
Is that too much for you?
No.
Do that. I'll find it.
No, it's just.
We can each have our own mouse.
No, I'm just. So if I get unruly, you're just gonna move the.
Just take it away from you.
That was a live. That was a live.
It's a wiffle ball.
Yeah. Well, no, it was the oof part was when I had to bend over to look down at the bat.
Oh yeah. No. Oh, I thought you meant the real real one where it happened.
No.
It was when. Was it Hannah or Henry hit the ball at you?
That was Hannah.
Okay, so if this works.
I'm not gonna touch anything.
It's moving around. Okay, give me my spot back.
All right.
See, this is something you guys don't see on the show, because on the show we always go to a timeout before we do things like that, like move the mouse around and somebody moves around to the different side of the.
Now would be a great time for a timeout. Now, back to them.
Yeah, I just hit the timeout thing, and that's what happened. So.
Okay, so anyway, yeah. So we've heard Baltimore has no home dates, and which would mean the whole hubbub about Milwaukee having to play first, if Milwaukee goes on, is not going to mean anything anymore.
Yeah.
So we think that if that happens and Milwaukee has 2 home dates or Utica has 2 home dates, but let's get real, it's probably not going to happen that way. Unless it goes into what do you mean? Oh, okay, never mind. Are you gonna don't ban Lucy, please.
What?
You can add her as a moderator, but
I could put her in. Look at this comment. You two being in the same room was way too much for me to handle. We've been in the same car together, Lucy, several times.
We were in the same car with Jay, and I have a little car. So Jenna mentioned that she was hearing the Florida chant in San Diego. She thought she heard that several times in San Diego.
Oh my God, I would have gone absolutely ballistic.
Yeah. Okay, we won't ban you.
That was also way too much for me to handle. Okay, well.
Do not ban my favorite person. Yeah. Whereas Cliff, when you need him, you should get his voice recording installed on that keyboard.
Mini game.
Officials timeout. What officials?
No, we're not official.
We're not. Yeah, we're definitely not official.
There's no officials.
What else is there to talk about? Dave, was there anything we missed in the Baltimore talk that we just talked about?
Well, you know what? Probably everyone in Baltimore is going to think when this news comes out.
Then everyone's mad.
We were just talking about that the other night.
What is that one?
The sound in San Diego is Gerg eating a corn dog.
Okay.
That was great. That happened. It went for 30 seconds straight.
Oh my God.
And then they came. Then it went away, and Nate and Eric were like, or Nate and Craig were like, "Oh, I guess we're back now. I guess things are back to normal." Do I have any inside info for when the Wave game would possibly be? Absolutely not. I have no idea. I can here. Don't touch anything yet for a little bit.
If I were to guess, it would probably be the sooner the better to kind of coincide with this week's playoff games in the Western Conference. I would probably say 21st and 23rd, maybe like a Friday, Sunday. Or, I hate to say it, like maybe a Thursday or a Monday. I'm just kind of speaking
Out of your eyes.
yes, from a Utica standpoint.
There are dates open on both the 21st and 23rd. Otherwise, we don't know what's going on with playoffs for the Admirals. So right now there's 2 Admirals games set up for tonight and Sunday, and then Monday and Tuesday have 2 things going on, and then April 22nd has something going on. But there's nothing else on the UW schedule right now, so we have no idea.
Yeah, and plus, I mean, with Utica, I know most of you are Milwaukee fans and don't really care when our games are, but with Utica Comets being in the playoffs, I think that would throw a wrench into whatever. But I think the sooner the better to get it close to being finished along the same lines as the Western Conference.
Yeah, Adam says he heard Friday and Sunday, which is the 21st and 23rd. Lucy, there is definitely an event at the Panther Arena on the 22nd, so it will not be that. Scotty says, screw the Admirals, we were there first. Yeah, but... Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we're black and yellow and the Admirals aren't. And the arena is black and yellow. Because that's the colors of the UW Panthers.
Right.
That wasn't a coincidence, for anyone wondering. Anyone's like, we need to go back to the blue. It's like, well, there was a reason why they didn't do that.
Right.
Yes. So... yeah, we're gonna rewatch the Monterey Chihuahua games 2 and then the
Mini game.
game. That game 2 was amazing. It was
Michael Jordan lo hizo. I believe I can fly.
See, I need to understand more Spanish so I understand what happened before that. Why they said that.
I don't know. Yeah, we watched that game and we still had no idea.
Right. But yeah, we're obviously giant fans of the Chihuahua announcers. I think I might be even bigger fans of the Monterey announcers. Gerardo, get me a jersey, please.
Oh, I want one of those black ones too.
I tried to buy it. It was $999, which was pesos. So it was like $53, but they don't ship to the U.S. So I was like, well, give it to Chili Willy and have him figure out how to get it.
Yeah, Adam, you're right. I think going into the playoffs, Utica was definitely one of the hottest teams.
I've heard you say that before.
Yeah.
Could you talk to him and I'm going to eat cake?
Yes, I can do that. I can make a case for Utica sweeping this Sunday. I mean, with defensively, Utica was off since their last trip to Mexico, where the last time they gave up that many goals. Since then, they've only given up, I think it was like a 3.8 goals against, and that's beating the likes of Baltimore, in Baltimore, Florida at home, Florida on the road. So I said this earlier. I think you're going to see less goals in this particular game. I think the defense is going to be tightened up, especially for Utica. I'm pretty sure it will be for Milwaukee as well. They definitely want to finish this in the second game. I mean, I don't think you want to play a
Mini game
in Utica on Sunday. Of course, and this is in the past. Most of the players are different. The scenario's different, but the last time Utica had a mini game at home, they lost to Baltimore.
Well,
and that was like 3 or 4 years ago. So, and like I said, it's a completely different team. So
that was brutal because they went into Baltimore and won.
Yep.
And they got swept at home.
Yeah. Yeah. and
Good
it
thing
was-
that can't happen this year.
It was two fluke goals. But second game is definitely going to be interesting. So I want to bring up something that was said. I think Kevin said it a while ago about the Chihuahua. We haven't even talked about the Chihuahua San Diego
No.
matchup.
But you know what's going to happen if Chihuahua wins?
Yeah,
Then everyone's mad.
everyone's mad. Everyone's going to be mad, and San Diego's probably going to complain about.
Slippery balls.
So
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Jenna. A lot of people that I know are picking against San Diego.
Well, is it wishful thinking or is it a realistic pick?
I think I think it can be realistic. I know, and we're going to go back to a few weeks ago or a month ago or a month and a half ago where half of San Diego wasn't there in Chihuahua and Monterey, and they swept.
Yeah.
And I mean, San Diego putting on a clinic against Mesquite, only giving up 1 goal. I get it.
In 2 games.
Right, in 2 games.
And it was a shootout
Yes.
against a cold backup keeper. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
When we went there a couple weeks ago, as you know, and Wave scored first 2 goals, and both Tara and I got up and stood up and clapped, and people looked at us funny. I'm like, listen, we got to get these in when we can because it's not going to be like this the whole game.
Yep.
And we lost 11-5. Their shot place. So, Jeff Locker, if you happen to actually watch this, have your players watch San Diego tape, and then get them out there and get them shooting on target and get them shooting practice.
Have them shoot like.
The great chilies.
Exactly. Because their shots are so precise and so perfect, and watching, well, they call him Little Rojo because he's a smaller brother, but he's like 8 feet tall.
Oh, yeah.
He was curving balls around 2 and 3 guys. And they were maybe,
Slippery balls.
but it was more like just perfect shot.
Yeah.
And I mean, Childs had a goal against, what game was that? Second game in Mesquite at home. He had 2 goals. He had one that was a free kick, and it was right at the top of the arc, or second dot restart.
Mm-hmm.
That he just noticed the wall wasn't set, and he picked out a little spot. You know, the ball's like this, and he picked out a spot this big and hit it there perfectly.
Yeah.
And then he had the other one where he had someone, well, he had 3 goals that game. He had the one where it came off the glass right in front of him, and he just tapped it in. That was mind-boggling. But the most mind-boggling one to me, and I've watched this goal 20 times, and I still don't understand the mechanics behind it, was the full, or like the half-court lob, where his body was turned this way, and he half-volleyed it into the goal over there.
Yeah.
I don't understand what happened. I looked at it, I'm like, huh? And I don't get it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. It's definitely, San Diego is definitely a horse of a different color in this league. I think we would like to see, I know I would like to see some different teams make it. I guess the question then would be, how is this window San Diego has going to close soon? I mean, you've got a lot of these players getting older. Craig Childs, Boris Pardo. Like, how long are they going to be in the league? So,
hopefully only another couple days.
yes. So, I mean, that kind of takes.
Sorry,
us-
Jenna.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a question in there. Do you think anyone from the East has a shot at beating San Diego or Chihuahua?
That's our good friend Alec, by the way.
Oh, it is. Hey, Alec.
Stop creaking the chair.
Well, I'm sorry. I can't help it. Anyone has a chance. I mean, the parity in this league is crazy.
How do you spell that?
Parody.
Okay.
ODY.
Okay, good.
Anyone has a shot. I mean, San Diego lost to Mesquite at home. Well, in Mesquite. I mean, Harrisburg swept Baltimore 3-0 in Harrisburg. So, any given day, I think any team could beat any other team. Maybe
Beating
except,
San Diego
maybe except Dallas.
at home is.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this: if Chihuahua loses at home in Chihuahua, it's over.
Yeah.
You might as well just rest everyone and not even play the next 2 games.
Yeah, I think a key for Chihuahua or the winner of Milwaukee Utica is you have to win game 1.
Yeah.
You have to win game 1 at home. Because if you lose that game 2, you're putting it down to a 15-minute
Mini game.
and I mean that does give you a chance,
Right.
especially if you play some lockdown defense, keep away defense. I think.
Yeah, I know people say Chihuahua is only good on the small field, but they aren't. They're good on a bigger field too. Do they have the defense of San Diego? No. Do they have the offense of San Diego? Probably.
Yeah.
Goalkeeping, I have to give the edge to San Diego.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Berna's good. Munoz is good, but they're not like elite
Right.
like Pardo. And actually, I've had some interesting conversations about Pardo. Pardo to me is like Danny Waltman used to be, where his positioning was just so good. He was just it always seemed like they were kicking it directly to him when they weren't.
Yeah.
It's just that's how good his positioning was. And I think Pardo relies on his defense probably too much, but because of the defense he has, he can absolutely do it. Like if he had the Milwaukee's defense, he would struggle. And I don't mean that to be bash against Milwaukee. I just mean that to be all his guys, they know exactly where they're supposed to be positioned. He knows where he has to cover, and he doesn't have to worry about not covering a spot that somebody's going to duck away from or back away from the wall or whatever like that. I don't want to take anything away from him because I still think he's goal of the year candidate, probably along with Vanzella. I say goal or goalie? Goalie, probably.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a goal, but Vanzella does, and that wasn't a very good goal. It was just
All the goals from goalies this year were throw-ins, so I mean you can't really give a goalie a goal of the year.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially when it's a throw-in on a 25-foot field.
Right. I think when it boils down to is I think a lot of like old school fans of the league who shall remain nameless want to see a Baltimore-San Diego final because it's all like back in the day and blah, blah, blah. But I think a lot of new school fans want to see like Chihuahua or Chihuahua Milwaukee, Chihuahua Utica.
Well, let's not push it.
I do. Hannah does too.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever Hannah wants, Hannah gets. So.
I would like to see, maybe not in the playoffs, I would like to see San Diego go to Baltimore and play on the mini field. I thought they did that one of these years.
I thought they did it last year.
I would like to see that in a game that matters and a game that everyone tries as hard as they can and see what happens.
So I want to, Adam and I were talking about this before we went on, and I want to get your opinion, chat. How would you guys feel about, in the playoffs, the referee crews have to stay the same both home and away? I think we talk about consistency when it comes to the referees, and I think that if...
Just keep going. Keep going.
Oh, you're going to do a poll. I just think that if you're going to call it one way, have it stay that way, as opposed to, like, for example, last night, having Austin Saney and Kyle Trimble on the field in Milwaukee, they're going to call this game different as if Brian Miller and Ryan Sigich would. So I think... And that's not taking away from any other referees, and I know we're trying to get all the referees experience and things like that, but I just think for the playoffs that would be a good idea to pose to the league.
Well, apparently San Diego went to Baltimore last year and won both times.
Well, just end the poll now.
We have one vote.
That doesn't matter. We're ending the poll. Whoever voted for Utica, yep.
I put a poll out there. Who do you think wins Sunday's game? Or Sunday's series, I should say. And I didn't want to put, like, Milwaukee in one, Milwaukee in a mini game, Utica in a mini. I didn't want to put all three options. I realize most of the fans in the chat are Milwaukee fans, so this is probably not going to help you much, but
It's not, but
we'll see.
it's definitely going to be a great game.
And then Scotty put out the thing. It's not about experience, it's about travel costs, which, granted for refs, yeah. But there needs to be I like the consistency idea of having the same crew. What do they do for baseball?
They do the same crew in each series. That they just rotate them around.
Okay. But in the best of 7 series, the ref is going to play. Refs are going to
Umpires
especially
are
seven.
going to be like first base, second base. They rotate them around.
But the same crew will be all 7 games in a row if it's a 7-game. If it all goes to all.
Yeah,
7.
they announced the crews for that. Yeah, for the playoffs.
Yeah, NFL isn't a worry because it's just one game.
Alec is happy to add to the Utica bashing. Wow.
Thank you, Alec.
I think to be honest, I think Baltimore fans are more scared of Utica than playing Milwaukee.
I haven't heard the word scared because they would not admit that, but I have heard we don't want to play Utica. I absolutely 100% believe Utica is more familiar with Baltimore than Milwaukee is. I mean, it's just the number of games. Milwaukee went into that Utica weekend. We have a friend wondering in the chat, is there a catalog of referee names that we could maybe get mailed to someone free of charge or something?
Yeah, absolutely. I can look into it, yeah.
And Dave says, this Baltimore fan ain't scared of anyone we play. But so Milwaukee played St. Louis at home and then went on the road to Baltimore and didn't prepare for the Baltimore game at all, from what I was told. They basically said, we need to get one win out of this weekend. Let's prepare for the first game and go all out and win it. And like they didn't practice for the smaller field or the smaller movement or any of that.
Right.
Now that's not an excuse. The games are all on the schedule. Everyone knows when they are. We talked about like back-to-backs. It's not like the teams go Thursday morning, they come into the office, they go, oh crap, we have a back-to-back game this weekend. What are we going to do? We didn't plan for this. Like they know it's coming. They plan all year round for it. Coaches are working on players and coming in and out, and things like that. But yeah, there is actually on the MASL website. What is that? What is there is?
Probably a list of.
Oh, of refs. Oh, that's good. Oh yeah, thanks, Lucy. Lucy just messaged me but we want something in print that we could mail to like a random address in the Baltimore area or something. Thank you. You guys. Oh, they have the ref numbers. All I know is number 2 is Ryan Sigich.
Yeah, that's all I know.
Number 10 is, I think, Brian Miller.
24, I think, is Saney.
Is that Austin?
Yeah.
Kelsey likes him a lot. She was telling us how much she liked him last night. She really likes Austin as a ref. It's one of her favorites. She's never said anything bad to him, ever. Yeah, I was wondering if she was in the chat or not, because the chat will just blow up.
Yeah. Apparently she's not. She must be out doing something.
Caleb still needs to make a water.
Yes.
Yes, definitely.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
So,
that's pretty much it. I don't think we have...
2/3 of votes. We got 6 votes for Milwaukee, 3 for Utica. It's probably not... Wait, Scotty, get the fuck out of here.
Oh, wait. Hang on.
Right. Yeah, she doesn't like Austin that much, Lucy. She's mentioned that a couple times. And a couple times in loud volumes. Although the best loud volume, so everyone knows, everyone's been to Milwaukee knows they play the music through the whole game. And when there's a lot of people there, there's just this dull roar the whole time. And then it increases in volume as things happen. Well, last night, we only had 1,800 people there. Blame Thursday, blame really good weather, blame whatever. Yeah. And Matt is standing on the field waiting for the keg race. And Kelsey yells, "Yay, Matt Huber!" or something like that at a perfectly silent break in all the action, and it echoed through. You could hear it echoing off the walls in the arena, and she had me wheezing laughing for how loud it was and how well it came through. So thanks for that. I didn't need to be able to breathe for 10 minutes after that.
I couldn't either, so that makes 2 of us.
So Dave's pick for Sunday's game is the BLARST.
Okay. Well, you're going to have to try again. Try again for that one.
We need a sound clip of Ed Hale saying, "Why is everyone calling us the BLARST?"
Then everyone's mad.
I can guarantee the BLARST is not going to win on Sunday.
You know who else isn't going to win on Sunday? or...
Welcome to Ontario International Airport.
Oh, we haven't even talked about that.
We haven't really talked about that. So,
Can we get us in the mood, please? Hang on.
You got Jenna again. So, last year's the Ontario Fury. They came in with the whole championship-bound tag and going crazy, and we're going to win this, and we're going to win. And they looked like they were going to until the last 8 games of the season. And then what happened? And then this year, they came in looking really strong. They looked like they were going to compete for the second or third seed. Chihuahua stepped it up and took off. So it was like, okay, well, they have the third seed nailed down. And then they lost 6 in a row, and...
Go!
Isn't this fun?
Yeah, it is. It is.
I got 2 mice set up, one for me and one for Matt, controlling the same thing. But so what happened then is everyone was like, well, is
Everyone's mad.
Jimmy Norberg going to get fired? And the answer unanimously was no, because he's like the owner, Jeff Burham's best friend. How can you fire your best friend? It's, even though it's supposed to be business, not thing. These guys who are multi-billionaires, millionaires, whatever. And by the way, what's the best way to become a millionaire as an indoor soccer owner? Start out as a billionaire.
Yeah.
But
I thought you were going dad joke.
No. I don't have one lined up. I haven't thought of one at all.
Thank God. Okay,
so don't worry about
good.
that. But they had we were in Kansas City for the All-Star game. Lane Smith, owner of Tacoma and the financial partner of KC, said, I have my IT company, Data Tech. If you've ever seen their commercial, their games, they have a commercial a couple of times. And this is what I do for fun. And I think that's what a lot of the owners look at it as. And why would you fire your best friend in something you consider doing for fun? So what they did, and this is probably maybe a bad analogy, is they did, let's say you have like a cop who gets involved in a bad shooting, and they can't really fire him because he has a perfect record up until then, but they can't keep him on the street, so they basically promote him to management. And that's, I think, what's been done here. Jimmy Norberg is now the VP of operations or something like that, and he's going to be more involved in like the game day stuff and tickets and that kind of stuff, and he's not going to be involved in day-to-day coaching. And they're looking for a head coach. They also announced Israel Cisse, former Wave player, by the way. What's going on? Okay. They also said that Israel Cisse is going to be an assistant coach. It was worded weird. I don't know if he's going to be assistant coach and player, or he's just going to be assistant coach.
I would imagine it's both coach and player.
I mean, because he said something like, I've been playing this game for 10 years and now it's time to take the next step or whatever. And I don't know if that meant stepping away or...
I mean, maybe. I mean, it's too early to tell at this point what happens in Empire. Like, you've got 2 seasons of low... I mean, you had high expectations, didn't come close to meeting any of those. And you have a lot of high-profile players that play for that team. So what happens? I mean... Squirrel.
She's had focus, Adam, so I typed in squirrel.
Yeah, no, it's a solid... Yeah. We're looking left, just for you, Lucy. But yeah, you've got the Tiger brothers, you've got Justin Stinson, you've got Chris Toth. So what happens? I mean, now you've got Coach Nordberg at the VP of Operations. Who comes in? Who steps in to take that head coaching spot? Who can bring this team together? And it's, like I said, it's too early to tell at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, I threw out just a random name. I don't even think it. I don't know if it's going to happen. But
Big Mo as another player. I mean, they're all talented players. There's not a lack of talent on that team.
I think the issue was I hate to say it because I've met Coach Nordberg personally and great guy. I think it falls on the coach. And
I felt bad for him when he got stuck under that city bus and got driven out to Detroit. Do you remember that movie?
Yeah. Okay. And then he fell down the fell down the bleachers after the Dodgers
Right,
game.
exactly, yeah, okay.
Or no, or did he fall? Yeah, he fell off the bleachers, but then, the bad guy, got tossed over the thing with the marching band. Yeah.
Scotty says Bernie Lillivois comes to mind. I don't think so. I think he's moved to Las Vegas and relocated his life. He's heavily involved in real estate and some other things. I don't think he's back in indoor soccer anymore.
I still haven't got my scarf yet.
That's for both you and
Yeah.
Jenna.
I mentioned Ryan Hall. I mean, he has connections out in California. He played for the California Cougars years and years and years ago, and I mean, he has the coaching experience. He's a former player. I threw that name out there.
I heard Chris Kakalis was trying to start an M2 team up in California. Maybe he could come out there.
No. Did he run out of money?
Yeah, right.
Maybe he should make a team in Las Vegas with Bernie Lillivois.
So what's funny is I heard someone who knows, yeah, I know, yeah, WD-40 for Matt's chair. Yeah, that's my drum stool chair. Actually, a bass playing, because I have arms on this chair, and it's hard to hold a bass with the arms. So I got this one. It's a fancy drum stool. Is it comfy at all?
Yeah, I'm comfy.
And I use that to play bass when I'm doing recording and stuff. So I heard from a player who maybe doesn't have any inside information other than just knowing things, that they think if this Vegas team ever comes to life, the Tye brothers go back to Vegas because that's where they originated in indoor soccer.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Eric, Matt's eating cake and drinking, but thank you from Matt for the scarf for Hannah.
Yeah, him and I have talked about it. I'll give it to her next weekend when I see her.
Well, probably not now because she's not here.
Oh, I said next weekend.
That would be freaky if she just walked in the door. No. We were going to do that. We were going to do that as a joke. The first time we really had... Yeah. The first time we had Huffman on, we were going to have him over here, set up with a laptop like in the other room, and like fake some technical difficulties and be like, why don't you just come over here? Oh, okay. And he would walk in the door and it'd be fun.
Well, we planned on doing that too, but
yeah,
it didn't really work. But yeah.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much...
So, obviously I'm going to stop the poll now because I'm rooting for Milwaukee to win. You're rooting for Utica to win.
Okay, well, then my question is, does Milwaukee win in the second game, or do they win in the...
Mini game.
Knowing what I know, and knowing what I know of Coach Jules, they're putting everything out on the floor for the second game. They're not going in like some teams have done and go, well, we'll just kind of see what happens. They're going to put everything they have in it. They're going to look at it as a back-to-back weekend.
Well, if you do that, you're... Well, that's not even anything.
Oh, I don't have that. Here, hang on. This is going to look weird for a second, but this is actually going to look more like what you guys are used to. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, too many men on the field. You can't put everyone out on the field.
Oh, yeah. That's
So,
right.
yeah, that's a blue card.
There was a joke I saw on that about a basketball. It was meant to be like a coaching thing, and it's like, you know, the head coach his basketball team puts all 10 players or whatever out on the court, and the ref's like, you can't put all those players on, you got to put them in there, and the coach does nothing, and the ref's like, if you don't get rid of your players, you're going to get a technical, you're going to kick out of the game, and the coach is like, no, they're all starting. And the ref said, okay, you're out. And he kicks him out, and as he leaves, he looks at the parents and goes, see, I told you the call couldn't start.
Yeah, good. Sorry, yeah. So you're saying game 2.
Alex says Utica wins game 2, 14-1.
You know...
Jenna said they win in whenever keeps Gordy's shirt on. Eric Hayne was still in a boot last night. I don't think he's playing this weekend at all. Wiedebach might. It was more of a... like this morning decision because they flew out this afternoon.
Which is why we're eating cake alone.
Yeah. Otherwise, we would have a guest here, for sure.
And we can talk about his knee.
Yeah. Luan definitely looked good. He said he felt good. Marcio, holy crap. I commented on his post. I'm like, not bad for an old man. But Marcio came in and just stood on his head.
No, he played great.
6 points, 2 goals, 4 assists. I mean, how can you not? He had better numbers than he didn't have that good of numbers when he won the Player of the Week against the Dallas.
I think if you had told someone that Utica held Ian Bennett goalless, that Milwaukee won 11-8, they would probably think you're on some sort of substance. So I mean, what does Everton do in this case? I mean, the goal was going in. I mean, we've stopped Ian Bennett before with positive results, and now all of the key players for the other key players from Milwaukee are stepping up. So
they have an Ian. Ian hurt his hamstring in practice right before our weekend game, but because first place was such in flux from that point on, he still played that weekend. Like, we were positive he wasn't going to play. Mm-hmm. He thought he was out 3 to 4 weeks, and he played the next day. And then that scoring streak got broken in that weekend or the next weekend. And then he finally took a game or 2 off, but he still came back. He's like, I think he feels like he needs to be in there, and I think Coach feels like he still needs that leader. Because the games that he wasn't in there, I think we won one of them, but it was still, there was a lack of coordination.
But I think if you take Ian out, you still have a lot of veteran presence. I mean, you have LSO, Leite, Derek Huffman to a certain extent.
Since we're talking, I'm just going to open up something here. I was talking about this today.
By the way, can we...
Oh, yeah. So the weather for Phillipsburg, Pennsylvania is currently 71.
Wow. With
a real feel of 69. So there's a bit of a breeze out there. Air quality is fair, though, so watch out if you have lung issues. Wind gusts are up to 6 miles an hour. Mostly cloudy. No precipitation for at least 60 minutes, though, so that's good.
Yeah, but tree pollen is high. Dang.
Fishing is great, though.
Yeah. Tree pollen's high, and if you've got arthritis, you might have some moderate pain.
Right. Well, there's some rain coming from way over here.
Yeah. That's headed BLARST way.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the weather for Milwaukee, Wisconsin is ridiculous right now. It's like a high of 79 today, a high of 76 tomorrow. Sunday will be 57 and raining, and we're expecting snow Monday and high of 36. Play one of them. I was going to do the Price is Right.
Oh, yeah.
Dave says so the reason you don't see Dave in chat is because he's hiding and he likes to make comments behind the scenes and make us laugh, which works a lot. He said that was an incredibly professional interview by Marcio after the game. Seriously, they are super focused. They really are. I've been really, really impressed. I like the way. Wait, the live version has 100% tech issues, or is that 0% tech issues, Jack? Because we talked earlier on, and welcome, by the way. We talked early on about we're just going to do shows and Matt comes over to my place from now on.
Yes, I'm making the drive.
100% less technical issues.
Oh, yeah.
You can get how much is the Uber from? Ask Jay how much an Uber is from Utica to Milwaukee.
He might try it one time. And
what's funny? Yeah, Lucy says, we love professional, not classless interviews post-game.
What's that? What does that mean?
Derek.
Oh, yeah.
According to KC fans, we're classless because
O's got the win. Dang it!
We use the word sucks. But anyway, I was going through, and I noticed something yesterday. And actually, I've noticed it over the course of the season. I think there's a change of the guard coming for Milwaukee. Jack, no, I am out of vacation days because of all the away games we've gone to.
So that is a
yeah. I think we're seeing the start of a changing of the guard. We're seeing, obviously Ian's going to play until he can't physically move anymore, which at this point could be another 10 years. He's going to be 40 this year, and he looks in better shape than I've ever been in my entire life. That's not saying much, But I used to play soccer and tennis and bike 50 miles a day and shit like that. And
He could have finished 5 keg races before I finished one.
right. He's actually still doing the dizzy bat just to prove that he can. But I think there's, and I don't want to really name a lot of players, but I think there's going to be a change in the guard soon where you got guys like the new old guard, we'll call it, is like Huffman, Alvarez, Grable, Alex Bradley, Ben Raymond, Wiedebach to a sense. But then you got this new player, and I think it's led by Javi Steinwasser. Yep, Lucy just wrote in Javi. I think Javi's leading this like youth movement, which is going to be Cutis Lawal, Sean Esqueda Squid. It's going to be, and looking down the list, Salvador Nunez, who didn't play yesterday, and they might be waiting for him to play for Sunday.
Alex Sanchez played great.
Alex Sanchez is a great player. Then we have some other players that have kind of been right on the bubble. Troy Morrison looking really good. Tyler Howard hasn't played a lot of minutes. He's looking good. Alan Salmeron was I think he was our combine draft pick. He looks really good. Yeah, I said Cutis right away. Yeah, he's looking amazing. And I'm not saying that the other players are going to go away. They're just, eventually the guys are going to retire one at a time. We're expecting Marcio to maybe retire. I think Matos is retiring. Luan
LSO has probably got maybe 1 year, 2 years.
He has a couple. We got Kyle Crane, who's going to be coming in. And then, of course, one of our favorite persons on the team, Taylor Pill, had a couple chances to play and got a goal in both. He's in like one shift in one game and got a goal. Next game he was in like 2 shifts, got a goal. He just got signed by the Milwaukee Torrent. He's going to get a whole bunch of outdoor experience in the offseason at a higher level. And then it's going to be, I think we're gonna really, the thing we have to watch out for is we got to keep these players. We can't let, like last year, Tyler Turner was going to be our number 1 player new coming in, and he leaves and he gets signed by St. Louis and he hasn't played a game.
Yeah, I think with, and like I said, I think Milwaukee and Utica are similar, but this is one thing I think is different. I think the window for Utica is bigger than the one for Milwaukee. When you look at Utica's roster, I think you're looking at, Darren Toby is 40, 41. So I would imagine this might be his last year. He might have 1 more year left in him. And then we've got Gordy Gerson, which I've kind of heard rumblings, and I really don't believe that this might be his last season. I doubt it.
I forgot about this. Utica City legend Tyler Turner.
Yeah.
He got signed, didn't play for you at all.
Yeah, didn't play for us at all.
Played almost every game for Milwaukee last year. Got traded to St. Louis because he wanted a longer-term deal. Got a 3-year deal, didn't play at all, and then got traded to Harrisburg.
Yeah. So, but I think besides that, I think the window, a lot of these guys are lower 30s, mid 30s. And we've, like I said, we've got the young players. So I think, like I said, I think the window is a little more wider in Utica than it is in Milwaukee.
We also have some guys who are coming in, like Byron Gutierrez played. He was our number 1 defender last year for a lot of it. He hasn't played at all this season. That's how much we bumped up in talent level. Tyler Howard's going to be good. Cole Stevens is going to be good. There's some players that nobody even has known of, and we were like, who are these guys? But we've seen them practice and things like that.
And this brings up M2. Like, why doesn't Milwaukee have an M2 team?
They do. So we have the Muskegon Risers that a lot of these players have played for this year.
Then let me back up. Why doesn't Utica have an M2 team?
Because Utica is, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right.
But I've heard that might be changing next year with M2 expansion. I cannot really say much to that.
Oh.
But I can tell you that M2 might be looking into a team in New York State.
Huh? Well, as long as it doesn't go to one of those other leagues, because I got in a kind of not a heated or not a lengthy discussion with Manny Vial from Omaha Kings, saying that we don't support, because we don't support their league, we don't support them. And to me, Tara's chat down here. To me, more leagues is not better for this sport.
Right.
Like, get over, and this is, maybe is going to make me popular, owners and commissioners, not of the MASL, but of these lower leagues, get over yourselves. Figure out how to work together. You're all in the same playground. You don't have to have separated playgrounds. NISL, I kind of understand because it's a different market and it's a different model. There's the female and the women's, the men's teams playing back to back. Super low budgets. They're in their own thing.
We love you, Andrew Haynes.
We do love you, Andrew Haynes, corn dog father. But this
Have a corn dog, Adam.
Thank you, Nick. I will.
Corn dogs, Jackie. Corn dogs for all these people.
I think the MLIS thing has been a joke from the start. It's a rec league. It's not, the number of the top. Wait, what is it? Yeah, I gotta find this. MLIS. See if it even comes up. Nope.
No Syracuse U online.
MLIS. I have to search for soccer because it's not even in the same. It's not even on the top page of the Google searches. According to this,
It's the top division.
the top division of professional indoor soccer in North, Central, and South America.
Fun fact.
There are no teams in Central or South America.
Hello.
Oh, yeah. The Brew City Legends. This is what this league is made up of. It's all rec centers. The quality of the broadcasts are terrible. They stream on some embedded page you can't watch on a TV or even on a really device. Half the times they don't work. Brew City Legends basically folded mid-season. They turned into Brew City United with most of the same players and a completely different owner because the other guy left town or wanted to leave town or something.
Right.
They had 2 games get stopped early because the first game they only reserved the field for an hour and they got bumped by a youth team because it's at the rec center where all the youth teams play. And the second game, it was a playoff game or supposed to be going to the playoffs. I don't think they were even in playoff contention. For somebody, it got stopped because they only booked the thing for 3 hours. The game started late and then went to overtime. So they ended an indoor soccer game in a tie.
Did each team get a point?
I don't know what happened.
Well, this is when all the owners or us, the fans, recommend something similar to the U.S. Open Cup. Have all the indoor soccer teams bracket style, no matter if you're MLIS, NISL, PASL, FBI, CBS, whatever.
They tried that. It's called the Central Cup.
Oh, we don't talk about no.
Have you ever heard of that? I don't know if you've heard of that.
No. Make it bigger. Like
In the box. Challenge everything.
I'm challenging this. Thank you, Eric. I think everyone should unite and be like, all right, let's promote the sport. Let's do this U.S. Open Cup style thing. Real quick, I wanted to bring up the comment about Rochester and Baltimore partnering up. You kind of saw it coming. Ed Hale and Soccer Sam are good friends. So I've heard rumblings that the Lancers got sold or something like that, and I don't know if Baltimore has anything to do with that. So that's the reason why that M2 to MASL pipeline happened, and that's why hopefully we get another M2 team in New York State.
Breaking news, Dave Kovaleski has been named commissioner of MASL 7. And we also have to remember that there's a new team from Hawaii coming in soon to the MASL. It's going to be harder for Lewis Melcher to get his bus there.
Yes, they haven't constructed a bridge yet to go from Los Angeles to the islands. So
maybe Soccer Sam can finish the season as the BLARST GM. That's interesting. That's really interesting.
Probably not going to happen.
He's going to just spend his time traveling to every away game, I think.
He was in attendance last night, and I know he's going to be in attendance on Sunday. So.
I would think so. Sam, sorry I missed you yesterday. Although I saw you taking a picture of us, and then you turned around and left when I tried to say hi, but probably didn't hear us or didn't want to.
Yeah.
He's like, I just got this picture and I'll take off. And he was like, damn it, now I got to see Matt later.
Oh, but he did.
But he did. But yeah, Scotty, you said exactly. Egos wouldn't allow it based on getting these merged. Basically Chris Economides and is it Gamboa or whatever the Mustang's owner is, and the Crunch guys. The Crunch guys are in a tough spot because they can't get an arena. I mean, we had them on the show, and they answered all the questions the exact same way they should answer all the questions, but the arena one was the one they couldn't answer, and I was worried about that. I'm like, you guys probably have a good year. Yeah, Armando Gamboa from Chicago. I've heard many not so great things about him. I've heard players that would never play for him again. It sounds like he just wants to run things his own way.
Well, don't they owe that Bozo?
Bozo? I think Bozo the clown guy.
Bozo the clown guy.
I think they still owe him money.
Yeah, they owe him money from when he played.
Oh yeah, Crunch got kicked out of their arena. That's right. I forgot about that. But you know, it's I don't know. It's tough because like, what else do you do? Like you can't get an arena. You can't play in a facility that allows you to really show your sport.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't join the top league. They're not going to put that broadcast on. It's done as professionally as it can be, but it's still, you got to watch behind a net, and you're seeing dark shadows worse than Baltimore's. Maybe not. Everyone say bye to Dave. See one of you in the semis. Try not to get red carded on Sunday. Hang on.
I will do my absolute best to not do that.
The official Craig Childs red card.
Depends on where I sit. I was in the beer garden for Monday night's game against Kansas City, and I did give the refs a lot of crap. There was quite a bit of a lot of that. So
Jack asked a very important question. Food recommendations in San Diego heading out there for conference final next week. Absolutely 100% must go is Tacos El Gordo.
I want a corn dog, Mr. Corn Dog.
That's my
We went to, what was that place called? Jenna, help me out here. What was the place called that we went to, the amusement park area with the hot dog on a stick?
You went to Chili's.
Well, we went to Chili's twice.
When I was in San Diego, that's where I went to Chili's.
We met Cowboys at Chili's because that's where he hangs out, and it's close to the arena. Yep. And then we went with Jenna and Caleb, and I can't remember Caleb's friend's name.
Scotty, no, I was not J-level drunk. I cannot get J-level drunk. I have a limit, which was seen
Travis,
by
thank you.
Which was seen by most of the Milwaukee fans last year. It was similar to that.
You know how most blood alcohol levels start with a point, a decimal point, and then a 0, or a point like 1, and like a 0.2 will kill you. J's is actually a positive number. It's a whole number. It's over 1.
Yeah, it's up there.
It seems impossible, but he pulls it off.
Yes.
But yes, Tacos El Gordo. It's downtown. It's a ridiculous mess to get to. It's absurdly busy. It is the best tacos I've ever had. We also went to a place called Miguel's Cochina, something like that. Oh yeah, thanks, Dave. Apparently Jerry Jimenez from San Diego Soccer says that's like the most Americanized thing, but we had a really good meal there. We had really good tacos, and we had apple pie stuffed chimichangas, which sounds just about as amazing as it sounds. A fried burrito dough covered with sugar filled with apple pie filling. What are you doing? Yeah. I was going to do this one.
Sweet baby.
Dave recommends Phil's Barbecue, which is near the arena. We did not go there because when we went to KC, we had barbecue 3 days in a row. I'm not out barbecued, but my wife might have been out barbecued a little bit. Not that that's a possible thing to have happen or anything, but...
He scored!
Exactly. But yes, Tacos El Gordo, I mean, it's just... Yeah, I know. I
didn't even notice
He did it before you did it.
I didn't even notice that. That was good.
For some reason, I had Trent on my mind. I forgot it was Travis. Sorry, Travis. Yeah, Miguel's was good. We had a pizza delivery that was okay. It wasn't anything special, but we actually did it twice because we were like worn out. Hot dog on a stick at wherever that place was that we went to. It was a beach area, like amusement park area, Midway area. I don't recommend that. It took an hour to get 2 corn dogs and a thing of fries.
You just get corn dogs at Pechanga.
There's corn dogs at Pechanga. I did not have that. I was amazed at how little Belmont Park. Yes, thank you, Jenna. I was amazed at how little concessions were open at Pechanga.
Yep.
And you saw last night at the arena, half the stuff was closed there, and it was probably 3 times as much as was open at Pechanga. It was just not that much. I mean, Chili's is Chili's. So I don't recommend going there. We did walk from Tacos El Gordo to Cali Ice Cream. It's about 2 or 3 blocks away. Definitely recommend that. They had about 400 flavors of. I had chocolate caramel pecan. It was really good. Some of the guys got some ridiculous bowls that absolutely 100% coach had nothing to do with the loss the next day. The burger place is called Hodad San Diego. We didn't go there. Where else did we? We ate at a place called Jimmy's American Tavern. Had a decent fish fry. Expect to pay twice of whatever you're expecting to pay locally just because it's San Diego. I don't think what else we ate. I don't remember. We went to the taco place twice. That's how good it was. Like a $20 Uber just to go downtown. Are you saying I took our team to get ice cream before their game? No, I would never say that. And it definitely never had anything. It didn't have anything else to do with them losing. And the team definitely asked me not to post that picture. Yeah. Good time.
Yeah.
Oh, we went to a place called. It was right across from our hotel. We stayed at the Best Western Harbor or Yacht Harbor. It was right across from the ocean on a yacht area, and it was called something I don't remember.
The Pacific Ocean.
It was an Italian seafood place. Tara had some kind of halibut, and I had not a very good lasagna, but Tara's is really good. Nice, thanks, Dave. And yeah, as soon as you get to San Diego and start scrolling through Facebook, you get thousands of recommendations. So,
I'll take Dave's suggestion.
yeah, Dave recommends the Pacers Showgirls for Strip Club. I kept getting an ad for the Empire Strips Back, a burlesque show where everyone's dressed in Star Wars Super Stormtrooper gear. But yes, if I haven't mentioned it, Jack, Tacos El Gordo is really good. I would definitely recommend going there.
I can't recommend anything. I had something DoorDash to me the one day I was there at Chili's. But I had a beer.
Oh, we went to La Jolla and had lobster rolls. Those were ridiculously expensive, but worth it. Those were really good. I forgot about that too. Yeah. We never made breakfast at our hotel because we just never made it.
At Starbucks.
There was a little diner next to the Holiday Inn next to us that had decent food. We had like breakfast skillet type things. That was good, but that's something you can get anywhere. That's not a San Diego specific thing. Yeah. I think we're probably done. We've out-talked ourselves for a while.
Yeah. And
so
also we got cake to eat.
We still have 19 concurrent viewers though, so I feel like we're letting them down.
Yeah. Well,
maybe we should only do shows every 2 months.
Yeah, I'll just make the 22-hour drive to and from.
This will be specifically for Adam G.
Overtime! Overtime! Overtime!
And Lucy.
Michael Jordan lo hizo. I believe I can fly.
Dave is really leaving this time. He needs the Uber to Bar 3. Yeah, Jack, when we went to San Diego, so our plan was doing touristy stuff. And we wanted to go to like SeaWorld and we want to go to the zoo. We wanted to do that. But the problem was we weren't feeling like I went in with a respiratory infection that I was just getting over of, and I was still taking antibiotics, and I think we both got sick. So the last couple days there weren't great. When we got there, the weather was 55 and raining, which everyone in San Diego was apologizing, saying our weather isn't like this. And I'm like, but did you guys realize that it just snowed a foot in Wisconsin, and it's 25 degrees there. So 55 and raining. We were walking around with ice cream open, and we were like, "This is great."
That's what happened when I went out there. When they upgraded me to a Mustang, I'm like, okay, cool. Everyone has their hoods up, and I had the top down, like had the shades on. I might have been wearing a hoodie, but I'm like, it's like 20 degrees at home. I'm good.
Yeah. It was the weather and the way people dressed were weird. Because we went down to the beach a couple times. We went in La Jolla, and then we went off of Belmont Park and the boardwalk there. And like I had the heavier jacket than this, so it's more like almost a fleece type thing. And there were people out there in t-shirts and shorts in the water. The water is 70 or 57 degrees there. It's not like Gulf of Mexico 80-degree water. Well, you're only going overnight for the conference finals, staying all the way through weeks, and then parent results be back for the final. Go get Tacos El Gordo. Then that's the one. If you had to go one place, that would be the place I recommend.
So Jack, are you flying into?
Welcome to Ontario International Airport.
That's in between.
I think the best thing was when Alec forgot there was an airport there. I just watched that one recently because I was looking for the blast.
Yeah, that sweet social media content.
Yeah.
Jack's gonna be down on the field Sunday. Lucky.
Nice.
Oh, you're going to LAX.
Since we're on material next season, does Leo Gibson retire from field or only coach? Jeez.
I'm gonna say coach.
The plan this year was for him to not really play unless they needed it, and he felt they needed it the whole thing. Did they need it the whole time? I say no. I say it was more of an ego thing or not ego or competitive nature, let's say. So it's not really an ego thing. It's more, I'm so competitive, I want to play and I want to be out there because I feel like it can help. And until he feels like he can't help anymore, he's going to still play. So I say maybe he goes down a half and half next year, but we definitely see him on the field.
No, I'm going to disagree.
Okay.
I think with the addition of Zach Reggett and plus the young talent that Kansas City has, you have Christian Andreas, you have Benji Monreal. You see a lot of these younger guys gaining experience, and I think
what I was going to ask.
I think the league is becoming more fast paced, and I just think you're going to see some of these guys, Leo Gibson, Nelson Santana. I think Nelson Santana, this is his last season. I don't think he can keep up with the younger, faster players. And I think the same with Leo Gibson. I think he's a great coach. I also think Stefan Stokic is a great coach as well.
Does Stefan Stokic have him eliminated so he can be coach? And by eliminated, I mean in Gru, Steal the Moon style.
He could. Stefan Stokic does look like Gru.
Yeah,
I have made that.
So
maybe Stokic goes to Empire and Leo goes to Kansas City. So I think Leo is better off just being a coach.
I think we do. So, question. Lucy had the question I was going to ask. Does Zach Reggett stay in KC all of next season? Meaning, barring any injuries, does he play every game?
Barring injuries, does Zach Reggett stay in Kansas City? That's a tough one because, he came in as that, missing piece for the playoffs.
And they missed the playoffs, so it worked. And
he didn't show up. He had no goals. He had no assists. He had 2 shots on goal in that playing game.
Lucy, if you go right now to go talk to Zach, we will stay on the air until you come back with an answer.
Yes. Yeah, I'll just sit here and sleep.
We can set up Skype and you can call in.
Yeah. I'm going to put a percentage on it. I'm going to say 80% he stays.
The other question I had was, does Gordy Gerson come back to Utica next year?
Depends on how far they go this season. I think, and this happened with Joey Tavernisi. Joey Tavernisi was thinking about retirement as well, and Utica fans, Utica players wanted him to run it back one more year. I think with that core group of Gordy, Taylor Bond, Stefan Mijatovic, I think Tommy needs to bring back Taylor, Stefan, Just bring the whole team back. Mm-hmm. I think we have the pieces. I don't think we need to go out and get anybody. Maybe a defender. I'm going to say Gordy comes back to Utica.
I'm going to agree with what Lucy just said. I think Gordy has his best fit this year of any team I've seen him play on. And Utica's been the best fit for him.
Oh, it's been the best fit. I think a lot of these players that have been unsuccessful. I mean, we look at Taylor Bond, his success in Chicago. And I told
ridiculous.
him, I told him this at 72 once. I go, listen, I hated you when you played against Syracuse, when you played for Chicago. And now you're with us, and you look just like you did back then. And he told me, he's like, I'm getting to that point. And the same thing with Christian Segura. Like, all of these players get lost in these systems. I don't know what system Everton has in place, but Segura.
Yeah,
works. Mijatovic, Bond is coming. Gerson had a great resurgent season.
Well,
So
what happened is Everton doesn't have a system coming in. He looks at the players he has and works the system around what he has.
Exactly.
And then fills in pieces where he can. Whereas other coaches, Bozo in Dallas, had a system in mind and just tried to make everyone play that system.
Yep.
And that would have worked great for like U12 outdoor, but for anything else higher than that, it was never going to work.
Yeah. So I think Gordy comes back. Please come back.
So Lucy has a question. Will Zach come to Milwaukee, or is the spotlight not big enough for him yet? Here's my official answer on that. Obviously, 100% opinion. I don't have any inside info. Maybe I have a little. I think the year after Ian Bennett retires, Zach Reggett will come to Milwaukee and take over that face of the team. I don't think he comes in with Ian at 100%.
I tend to agree with that. I think when Ian Bennett retires, I think they're going to need someone to put butts in seats. And if you have a local talent like Zach Reggett,
and we have. You saw all the Gordy Gerson fans because they're an hour and a half away in Chicago yesterday.
Oh yeah, Gordy, Steph Mijatovic, Taylor Bond, Cesar Correa.
A lot of the guys from the Wave are either local or from Chicago area.
Yep.
And we get a lot of that local. And yeah, I think I've heard people say that Zach wanted to play in his younger years to go travel and play different places, like kids want to do.
Yeah.
He's playing on these. I can't remember the name of the team. It's
Valentia.
I don't think there's a T in there. But it's a 7-on-7 tournament worldwide, $1 million first prize. It's like a $10,000 or $20,000. No, Scotty, not that one. $10,000 or $20,000 entry fee, and he's playing with a number of the soccer players. Yeah, the TST tournament. Winner take all, $1 million first prize, 7-on-7 outdoor, and he joined the team. Was just signed with the team. Has a number of soccer players on with their coaches and their.
I think Ricardo's on that team too. Ricardo Carvalho.
Seems about right. I love those guys. They're going to get crushed in this tournament because this is like world-class Bayern Munich.
Villita. Villita.
Oh, there's a T in there. Okay. But yeah, there's a U.S. women's national team playing. There are a number of MLS teams. There's a team, what's his face with the Xbox logo? The former Seattle Sounders player.
So there's a bunch of the indoor soccer players are playing for this Villita. Felipe Gonzalez from San Diego. Juan Carlos Gonzalez. Zach Reggett.
Yeah, there's a Borussia Dortmund team. There's Charlotte FC team. Jack Dempsey's team. Team Jack Dempsey. There's a team called #United.
Pardo's playing for Villita. It looks like a lot of San Diego players. Edgar Gonzalez, Christian Gutierrez. Hang on. Oh, sorry. I gotta borrow this.
The great chilis.
Is playing.
Oh, Ricardo Carvalho is playing on a team with Lucas Roque.
Oh, maybe it's a different.
It's another team.
Serta's playing. So this Villita team, it looks like a lot of San Diego players and Zach Reggett.
Wrexham team, U.S. women national team is playing. Dallas United is playing. So I guess there's 4 openings right now. The Jackson, Tennessee Boom is playing. I don't know what the heck that is, but...
Oh, yeah, Phil Salvaggio's coaching, of course.
Yeah.
So San Diego pretty much has a team.
But it's not indoor.
Ooh, we could have a team.
You got 20 grand?
We'd start a GoFundMe.
He writes. We could sell scarves. $25 a shot.
Yeah.
And then we'll take that money and just run away with it like somebody else did.
Oh, that would be great. Just your team.
I'm going to call it Your Team. I'm going to use this logo, Your Team, with a lock. And I'm going to use that's going to be my logo. Yeah, we're locked in.
We're locked in.
But yeah, Borussia Dortmund team is going to be there. I mean, they don't even have any players listed. That's all. Zala FFF.
Oh, it's probably Zella.
They only have eight guys listed.
But they have Johnny Orlando.
Is this a movie or is this a real thing?
Wrexham? Wrexham has a team.
Wrexham, it nearly killed him.
Wrexham from Ryan Reynolds.
North Wales. Yeah, this is going to be...
Hashtag United. I've heard of Hashtag United.
Have you? Oh, no players listed. Team Dempsey has one guy, so that's going to be interesting.
Well, I'm sure Clint Dempsey's going to play.
And it is co-ed, but it doesn't have to be. U.S. Women is Heather O'Reilly, Lori Lawson, Stephanie McCaffrey, Christine Heavey, Kat Whitehill. There's a lot of names. Holy crap, they have like 20 players on this team. They're gonna run this like a professional game.
Yeah. So.
Oh, Clint Dempsey's doing open tryouts for his team.
Oh, I guess we'll have to. I hope. Oh, maybe they'll do like a drill with the keg thing.
Yeah. Oh, Brendan Escato is playing. Escato? I don't think that's the word you meant to put in there, Jenna.
Moscato?
That's what Tara said. She was Moscato?
Yes.
And then let's have a talk here.
Oh, good.
I'm talking publicly to Matt Thornton and maybe future coach of the Dallas Sidekicks, Eddie Piskarich. When a guy's name is spelled Ramin, and he is a Caucasian gentleman from the New York area.
The Baldwinsville, New York area.
His name is pronounced Ray-Min, just like it looks. It's not Raymond. He's not Jamaican. And then you don't come back. You don't come back after halftime and say Ray. Oh, I apologize. We got his name wrong. It's Raymond. Now you know why I'm saying this specifically. It's not like I expect every announcer to know every player's name, even though that's their jobs. But when the MASL, in fact, what is his official title here? When the VP of operations for the MASL, who is probably a guy who's basically the boss of many of these announcers, when he has the same name as his brother who plays on the Milwaukee Wave, chances are you pronounce it the same. And maybe you guys have gone through the whole season pronouncing your boss's name wrong, but I'm going to guess you know that his name is Ramin. Ramin. There's no other way to pronounce that. You are having way too much fun with this.
I am. I'm trying to get all of them in before the end of the show. And I think I've got them all.
What do you think? I'll let you do. What do you think our friend Nick Vassos would say about how to pronounce Ben Raymond's name?
Have a corn dog, Adam.
That's the best thing ever. Nick, we miss you.
Giggity.
I think you got them all.
Yeah, yeah. Wait, did I get this one? All right, we're down to 11 viewers now.
We're done. We're done. We've killed off enough people. I mean, time that we can officially log off. So, thank you to everyone. She knew it. I don't have a joke for the end of the night, so I'm saving everyone. You need to do like... So, until next time, we don't know when next time's going to be. I do not have 3 pool leagues a week, so we may be able to do things. I don't know when games are going to be. The problem we also had was there was a bunch of Friday night wave games in a row there that we couldn't make a
so
show.
it looks, I mean, in talking this out, I mean, next Friday, looks like
It's a playoff game.
it's
for
going to be a
somebody.
playoff game for one of us. So having a show the Thursday before, or the day before, I mean,
Supposed to have band that night.
see,
And I haven't had band in a month and a half either.
yeah, so I mean, I might hop on Facebook.
Yeah.
I might hop onto YouTube. We'll see what happens, but it looks like Friday's going to be a playoff game for one of us.
Yeah, showing before the championship series. Yeah, we could try that. We'll figure that out. It may be on a weird night, Monday, Tuesday, or something like that, but we'll figure something out.
Yeah.
So until next time, I guess. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.